Good morning. So my question today is, can I pour paint in my little apartment like I used to paint it in the studio without making a grand mess? And yes, I can. Here we go. I'm going to show you how I set it up. And keep in mind that when I very first ever poured paint, I did it in my living room in a cardboard box on the floor so I wouldn't make a mess, and it worked. And then I graduated to quite a large studio where I painted for a couple of years, and I had all the room I might possibly need to pour larger pours. Sometimes they were really, really large, and I had to do them down on the floor of the studio, but I had lots of room then. And now that I'm in my apartment, I have yet to try pouring paint. And so I am about to show you how I set up a space in my home studio, which is basically a bedroom that's been converted to hold everything that I did, almost everything that I did in that large studio, but on a smaller scale. And so let's turn this around. I'll show you what I've done today to get ready for this. The key for me is preparation, because I can't afford to make a really big mess in here like I used to make at the studio. So everything is covered. Now I happen to have these puppy pad things, and so I'm using those, but you could use just one big tarp, and I don't waste these. I use them over and over again until they just become too painted or too cumbersome or too torn up to use, and then I discard them. But this is a fresh batch of puppy pads spread out here, there, and everywhere. And my intention today is to pour paint for at least 10 8x8 canvases. I have them all set up here, ready to go. I have some protection on the floor because I do not want a mess. My original plan for this room was to have it only as a clean space for my illustrations and my watercolors, and to not ever try to pour paint in here. But it's cold outside. It might even snow this week, and I am ready to pour paint, and I don't want to be out in the cold garage doing it. So I have cleared a spot. This is actually 3 small tables. One, 2, and 3. And then it's covered with some puppy pads, but it could be a tarp, could be a sheet. I don't like to use things that are not waterproof, because the paint's going to seep through them, and then I'm going to have a big mess. And like I said, I don't want a mess in here. So the key for me today is to set this all up, have it all handy and ready to go when I start painting, so that I'm not running from this space out into the garage. I have mixed the paint out in the garage because that is a little messy, and I am going to mix some more, and then I'm going to bring it in here. I'm going to put them all in squeeze bottles for ease. And I also am filming this, so I have other things to consider, like lights and cameras that you wouldn't have to. But basically, you could do this with just a box. This is one of my favorite things that I got to pour paint with, and it is a wreath holder. This is 1/2 of it, and I have a large Lazy Susan that I bought at a thrift store, and so I can spin my canvas on that. And so let's see how many I can get done in one fell swoop. I plan to do 10 today, and just sit back and enjoy. I'm not going to talk to you while I do it. I'm going to turn on some music. This is, again, just a really relaxing thing to do. So, and I don't have a lot to say about my color choices because I like to just play. I put some color in a squeeze bottle. I squeeze some paint out of that squeeze bottle into cups, and I pour it onto the canvas, and I see what happens. And I also have my hair dryer and my heat gun ready, some gloves. I'll need lots of gloves, some paper towels. I think I'm just about ready. All right, stay tuned. About how I mix my paint, I pretty much always do it this way. First, I mix up a glue medium, which is 70% or about 70% white or clear craft glue, and the rest is water. So I mix that up, and I always have that handy to make my paint mix. Now when I get ready to mix my paint, I put 50% of that glue mix to 25% American Floetrol and 25% paint, um, and I mix that up, and that's my paint. And then I thin it depending on what I'm doing, with water or maybe more Floetrol, to get the consistency I want for whatever project I'm working on. But it's one color up with another color. I add blacks and whites for different tints. I like to put gold or metallic in a lot of my paints so I get a little sheen or shine or sparkle. Oh, speaking of sparkle, I'm likely to put some glitter in my final projects. I may not do that in this particular pouring session because once again I'm in my apartment, not in a large studio where I can make a mess. And glitter, oh, glitter can go just about everywhere that you wouldn't expect it to go when you're using it. So I'm probably not going to glitter anything, but I'm going to have a lot of fun. So thanks for watching.